So you're from different directions. You fought in different directions. I asked that there be different directions.
Kharkov direction.
Kharkov direction.
Yes.
Where was captured?
On the territory of Russia, Zhuravlyovka, Novgorod region.
Oh, so you already been captured on Russian territory?
Yes.
Have ours already entered Russia territory from the Kharkov
close
direction?
to the border, 700, 1,000 meters.
Well, it's
right.
still nice. At least 700, 1,000 is already good.
No, 700 meters from the border.
700 meters from the border,
700 meters from the border in Russia.
Okay, cool. Where were you captured?
Gorodovka.
Grodovka.
Pokrovskaya direction.
Pokrovskaya direction. When did you get there?
August 23, 24.
August, and you?
4th. Autumn months.
September.
Yes.
September 1st, fresh, and you?
August 31st.
Where?
Maximilianovka.
Is Maximilianovka the next direction?
Yes, Marinka, Georgievka, and
Marinka,
Maximilianovka.
Georgievka, and Maximilianovka. So, fine. You are all representatives of the great Russian army, right?
Right.
Is it great?
I wouldn't say so. Yes.
No, seriously, tell me.
No, well, I think not.
And you?
Not at the moment.
At the moment, did you think so before?
Previously, yes. According to rumors, yes. Before that, at the moment, there are no explanation. Not an army, but a mess.
No need. Let the court lie quietly. He doesn't have to do anything. Well, your opinion has changed, hasn't it?
Very.
It has changed. Well, another general question. Who else of you perhaps supports this war, support what Russia is doing now or what it initially did, right? Are there people who suffer from such ideas?
Patriots or what?
No,
Ideological.
patriots are those who love their homeland. They love their homeland there.
Ideological.
Well, you love your homeland there in your homeland, in Kabardino-Balkaria. I speak for those who believe that it is right that Russia goes to fight in Ukraine. Are there any?
No.
No.
No
And
one.
where you were in your units, were there a lot of people there determined and ideological?
Ideological?
Yes.
I won't say so. I haven't met anyone for at least 2 weeks.
He fought for 2 weeks, yes?
I understand, just in part. I spent 4 days on the front end.
4 days.
Yes.
So it a lot.
Yes, agreed.
We have a record-breaking hour. You know, they brought him in, the hour went, and boom. Okay, let's start with you then. Well, tell me, who are you? Mobilized? Who are you? Contractor?
Mobilized.
Mobilized.
Yes.
So in Russia there is no mobilization.
Since 2022.
Since the
From October
22nd year.
16th.
So you fought for 2.5 years and almost
Well,
2.5 years.
Most of it was located on Russian territory.
Where?
In the Belgorod region.
Belgorod.
Yes, on November 1st, we are in the 2022 year near Makeivka. They took us out for 2-3 days and the regiment was defeated. We went to one village and went to the second. In mid-December, everyone who was still alive
Yep.
was rounded up and taken to Russia for
Yep.
formation. And from that moment, I was from mid-December 22 on the territory of Russia.
Uh-huh.
That is a territorial
In short,
defense.
you were idle.
What?
You were idle.
Well, such tasks on the territory of Russia are there, helping border guards like that with conscript there.
Did you receive a combat salary?
Like
How were
mobilized.
the combat ones?
No, like mobilized.
How much is it?
190.
Well, this is...
Well, 195 less 205,
In short, you
207.
had a blast, you were happy with everything because the salary was high and you were essentially
Well,
outside
to
the
be
combat
honest,
zone.
basically,
Well, I'm interested in an honest answer.
Well, they paid and paid. I never do anything like that anywhere. How to say? Well, to be honest, even bad. Still,
Well,
they're
how can I
helping,
tell you
reporting,
that,
doing everything. Well, I mean, in this sense of killing someone else, that didn't happen. It just, guarding the
Uh-huh.
border, and that's it. There, they saw something reported, but
Well, you understand anyway, yes.
of
there
course.
are direct contact. There is the fact that your army invaded our country, and no matter how you help it, direct contacts or indirect ones, you are still a complice in the
Even
invasion
indirectly.
and the killing of people. Those who perhaps on your territory press buttons so that missiles fly at us, they too.
Well, essentially, yes.
What they?
No, I mean direct contacts.
I understand.
And yes, well,
So how did you end up captured then?
Well, we have a
At
task.
what point did you come closer to the combat zone?
The task was we were in the village of Zhuravlyovka,
Uh-huh.
near the border. We were standing in a strip. We had like a mandatory checkpoint there. Our task was, that is, if we after like this, well, before that it was some more carefully. That's when it all started in Kursk. Our task was such that we saw that there would be a breakthrough through Zhuravlyovka, and our task was to detect moving equipment or
Yes,
manpower.
yes.
Report and roll
Yeah.
back.
Wait, quite literally. A month and a half to 2 months before that, yours were making a breakout to Kharkov through Zhuravlyovka, most likely to. Is Volchansk far away?
Well, it's somewhere nearby.
Well, yours went into breakout. Have you not contacted them?
Well, our regiment is not.
Which unit, by the way?
245th Motorized Rifle.
245th Motorized Rifle.
Internal Intelligence.
And you?
35th Assault Brigade.
And you?
150th Motorized Rifle Division.
Yes, so as not to forget. Got it. In short, you know nothing about the attempt to break through the Russian army.
No, well, I heard that it breaks out where how something like that didn't happen. And so, well, I won't say that exact number of us because we didn't have any contact or anything like this about a couple of days before we were captured. The shelling of this strip where we were period began, we rolled back and reported that, well, there was shelling on the landing. That is, well, in some case, we won't even be able to get out of there. We were told stand until you die or bleed. We had a rotation, that is, there was a group of 6 people, 3 people change. From a week to 20 days, they could do it like this. Well, on certain days, the commander said and they changed them. There was just a shift of 3 of us. We rolled away. We took turns in threes. We came to where we sent to have a point. We lived in a dugout. They came there, checked. Well, as nothing had happened. There was a dog there.
Dog?
And everyone laughs at how I was even captured. I started to drive it away, run toward the border. I followed it and got caught.
You started chasing the dog all the way. 700 meters line, you chase it.
No, this is the point, our point, and it was 700 meters to the border.
So?
Well, I moved 150, 200 meters away from the point where we were. Simply ran
Why don't
towards
you like
Ukraine.
dogs?
No, I just wanted her to think why she runs exactly there. It hits help from the village, as it were. They called her Agras here. I went with it. Why did I go there? And it turns out that I ran into Ukrainians.
Okay, did the dog have any signs that it was raised in biological laboratories, for example?
No, it's from the village of Zhuravlyovka. This one, well, everyone left Zhuravlyovka.
Didn't you
It
feel that
stayed.
the dog inspired you that you should follow it, for example?
No, that didn't happen.
Do you understand what this joke is all about, or not?
Well, yes, a little. It
About
seems.
biolaboratories.
Well, yes.
Tell me in a few words.
As if Ukraine created it, a dog.
Why are we joking like that?
Because this is Russian TV. There are biological mosquitoes, some other animals, all kinds of beasts.
Yes,
in
they
short.
told.
What?
Well, did they tell
On
you?
TV? Yes, I know. All
Yes,
this
I can even
since
turn it on for you.
2014. I have been monitoring the situation completely.
Understood. Got it. So you got yourself into trouble.
Yes, one.
How did this happen?
Well, the group was behind and we together, that is, it turns out, went to check where our dugout is, as it were. The eldest returned back for the group and I went to see where the dog ran.
Yes, and there were ours.
Yes, they tied me
How
up
many meters to the border is this approximately? About 500 meters.
from the place where
No, where exactly were you
from the
captured?
place where I was captured to borders. Well, if it in a straight line, about 500 meters.
Small but good. Good. Do you have any idea what's going on in Volchan's direction?
No, not
No?
at all. I haven't even been to that
Weren't
site.
you interested? Understood. Well, they tried to break through there too, but they got a little overwhelmed.
About Globoka, we were near being Zhuravlyovka. I heard that everything was tough there, but I didn't go into all the details.
So, what about the rest of yours? You don't know?
Well, as they told me that everyone died.
Did you hear the shootout?
I heard one side machine gun fire.
Yes. In short, our people tried, as I understand it, to get close to your position, and you
Yes,
approached
but
them
who
yourself.
in this shootout is like, I don't know, because
Well, I see.
The group that took me prisoners had machine guns, and there were 3 machine guns in our group.
Did you have someone permanently behind these machine guns?
We just arrived, it was just this morning. It was down, we arrived, it was
So
morning.
your group had 3 machine guns?
Yes.
Yes, let's assume we heard 1 machine gun burst. Our people are trying to break through, trying to destroy your group. So, naturally our man with the machine gun approached. This is understandable because we are trying to approach. We hear machine gun fire. If we hear 1 machine gun burst and do not hear burst in response, then we must understand that it is probably ours who is shooting and not yours. Because you have 3 machine guns, yes? Is there someone sitting behind them all the time?
No.
No. Here you go.
That is, it was as if there was no position to observe fully during the day, as it
But
were.
they just were there, these machine guns.
3
Do I
machine
understand
guns,
correctly?
yes. They were gathering there somehow, but something didn't come to that. Because everything was just right for us. That is, we were slightly thrown off the road. If they were passing along the pass, then if we sat quietly, they would not have seen us.
What about drones?
We're in this squeeze, it's not yet visible.
Okay, that's not the point. In short, you were captured, taken away, and that's it.
Right away, yes, right away. We approached straight away, maybe 200-150 meters before crossing the border. And just then I heard shooting. Then they told me that your entire group was dead.
Understood. Understood. Have you seen the Nazis?
No,
Well, NATO members?
no,
Poles?
no.
Czechs?
From conversations, not of our group, not of our regiment, just like that, somebody somewhere, something is communicating with each other there. Nearly I haven't seen anyone like that. Maybe I even saw it, but how would...
Well, this is somewhere something, somewhere somehow, they just say it on TV. And then this somewhere something somehow goes between the ordinary
They
ones.
told to each other, and so that there is no such thing as complete 100% certainly.
It's clear. No, well, it's just that now you know this topic has come up that you
Yes,
are at war
yes,
with
it is.
NATO. Do you know why? Well, if they had taken Kiev in 3 days as they had planned, then in general that would have been the end of it. They said that we defeat the Nazis, that's it. And since nothing is working out, moreover, it has already entered your territory a little bit. To somehow admit that you are receiving rebuff from Ukrainians, you know it's inconvenient. Well, I have to say that it's you who are at war with the whole of
This
NATO.
is true.
That's what
This
they
is
say.
true.
If this were so, then a different plan would be hanging over the
No,
Kremlin.
I mean, that's what they say, of course, that's what they say. There's nothing to hide. To be honest, I'd rather break it down.
As if yes. Tell me, you came here, saw us, talked with Ukrainians. Well, would your opinion change?
Honestly, yes. I did not expect such an attitude towards prisoners of war.
A normal attitude, right?
Yes, I thought everything would be much...
Well, if
Tougher.
somewhere they got a little something at the front, then you understand this is
They
such a
didn't
thing.
even catch anything, that's
And
understandable.
then something like this.
I didn't expect this, that this is exactly how everything will be, more calm.
Well, why should we be angry? Yes, they get angry and go wild, they're already going crazy, because they thought that they would win quickly and easily, but nothing worked out. It's clear. Shall we call your sister right away?
What can I say to her?
What do you mean, what can I say to her? Say that you're in captivity in Ukraine, how you got there, why you got there, the fact that you are talking to me, you will still... But it's already
No,
on
in
video
this
anyway,
sense that
so
you
what's the
can tell
difference?
her to contact the military
Certainly, well, of
registration
course
and
you
enlistment
can.
office.
Need to. I'll tell her all this myself. That's why we're calling. We don't need you here. At all. We want you to be picked up, quickly. Now to exchange have passed, it's normal. It goes a little bit. Maybe now they will somehow take you away. It would be nice.
By video or
Via
something
video.
like that.
Via video. Via video. We need to record that you are in captivity.
Ну, о. Hello, Vita?
This is not Vita, this is Vova for now. Take this same camera in front of you and place it. What are you doing? It is hard to hear? It's hard to hear, I say.
No, I can hear
I
you
can
well.
hear you very well. My name is Vladimir, I'm a journalist from Ukraine. Your brother is in our captivity. Did you know this now or did you know it before?
No, I didn't know.
Well, alive.
Can I talk to him?
He might not even be alive anymore. Of course, the conversation is recorded and published with us. I will pass the phone to him. Let's talk.
Hello, Vita. What's happened?
He's in a pre-trial detention center.
Everything is fine, don't worry.
For what?
For fighting against Ukraine.
Now she will start talking about her own things.
Well, how long will he stay there?
Until you take it for exchange.
Who will take him for exchange?
You?
What kind of exchange is needed?
What?
What exchange? What kind of pretrial detention center? What is the address of the
What is your
pretrial
name?
detention center?
Ekaterina, right? Ekaterina, the exchange does not take place between pre-trial detention center. The exchange takes place between Russian side and Ukrainian side. Do you understand?
I should contact the authorities, yes, as I understand it.
Certainly, you send him to war. Military registration and enlistment officer. Ministry of Attack, everyone is involved in this. Prosecutor's office, military prosecutor's office.
Well, what about his future fate?
He will sit and wait for the exchange. Further fate.
Do they feed him there?
Yes.
Feed him, of course. We're not the Russian side. We feed people. We don't mock people. We don't beat them. They let journalists in to tease them. They let the Red Cross come to them. In your prison, they only mock people. We're normal people.
We are normal people too.
Why don't you let the Red Cross into your prison?
Who is the Red Cross?
International Committee of the Red Cross, humanitarian organization. Well, why don't you let them in? Why do our people go to war with 120 kilograms, but return from captivity with 60 kilograms? Don't you know?
And what do people mean to me?
I understand.
I don't need your people. I don't need Ukrainian people. I need my
I
brother.
understand.
I'm talking about it
I
now.
have no doubt at all.
I don't care about the others. I have brother there.
Well, and if your brother died, would you still care?
Of course not.
Well, what do you think about it?
He raised his
What?
hand and walked away. He raised his hand and walked away. Everything is much higher here. You know all this. You understand? People like you sit
Actually
like
not.
us. I'm sitting. We don't decide anything. Absolutely. Neither you nor I decide anything in this world. And in this war, and not war as it is called. If something changed, everything depended on you, then everything would be different. But this can be discussed endlessly. Right? Right?
No, that's
You
wrong.
won't out-argue her.
What?
You can't argue.
Yes, I'm not even trying. It's one thing that you abdicate all responsibility and the right to even think.
I accept no responsibility.
You say I'm a pawn, nothing depends on me.
Not only did I not relieve myself of this responsibility, I didn't take responsibility. Let's do it first.
And I'm thinking about people. Well, your brother could not have gone and fought, right?
Why could?
Well, because he could. Because he could. Why? Don't go, don't fight.
Oh, well, this is such, an abstract discussion now. Some could do something, some couldn't.
No, well, you say pawns don't solve anything. And I say your brother, the same pawn, could go and say, I won't go to war. That's it, that's over. No
Why
longer
didn't the
pawn.
Ukrainians say that in Ukraine we won't go to war?
Well, because your people are going to kill.
The Ukrainians would say, not all of us, we would all stand up and say, we will not go to war. Well, let's all stand up and not go to war.
In terms of how can we get up and
Let's
not go
warn
to
everyone
war?
then. You are yours and I'm mine, whatever.
Catherine. 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 There will be world peace when your Russian Federation does not attack other countries. Who attacked whom? Please tell me.
Regarding my brother, what do we decide?
No, well, you just talked for 5 minutes, I didn't interrupt you. Who attacked whom? Please tell me.
I don't have such information.
So you don't know that the Russian army has entered the territory of Ukraine?
No, I don't know at all.
Well, that means I bring home that the Russian army, the Nazi, fascist, racist army entered Ukraine in order to kill our people. And we cannot stand up and say that we will not fight because we are protecting our families. Has it reached you?
Fine.
Fine. Regarding your brother, you go to your attack ministries and take him away from captivity. I can tell you can write him down from the screen that he is in captivity. Will you write?
I write it down.
Right. Talk about who you are, what you are, where you are. Well, a level assistor.
Yes.
100 words per minute and nothing for substance.
It's useless to argue with her. She there, if you say something, she's on her own. Later, she has her own thing in her head.
So you see, I'll listen calmly.
Yes, she's like that, never in life. Do not convince, do not argue. If she say this, then
Well,
it must be
let's
so.
not argue with her. Let's just say it yourself. Here you go. You got mobilized, right? You made money, you were happy with everything, until you were this close to death. Because if one of our guys there had somehow gotten his finger on the trigger hook, in the wrong way, you would have a hole in your head right now. In a field somewhere. Maybe no one would even take your body. And you were still far from being in the most terrible condition there. It just happened to you like this, just like that. You're actually lucky that you followed this dog.
Everyone says the dog saved your life.
Saved a life, really. And this is the most, and as if thanks to this you remained alive. Well, you would have died. It's just those who died, I can't ask them anything. You see, I do not have such competence. You would have died. What is all worth it?
No. It wasn't worth it.
It wasn't worth it. It's just that others who are in your place can now mobilize and sign a contract for money. Well, they should understand that you can earn money at home. Or is it not possible at all? No chance.
You can.
Okay. Again, name.
Andrei.
Andrei. Please tell me this whole story. I'm interested in it. Born in Volyn, parents in Volyn.
Mom is there in Russia. I no longer have a father since 97. She divorced him a long time ago. Met a man at the resort back in Soviet times. Well, we moved there. No one asked me when I was little. That's all. We've been living there ever since.
Have you ever visited Volyn?
The last time was in the 9th year.
In 2009
Yes.
already? For a long time. Well, did you see there now
Never in my life.
How do you like people in general? Everything okay?
Great.
Nobody beat you for speaking Russian because you
No.
are from Russia? Well, how
No.
did this happen for you? Then at one point it was on TV and we all became Nazis.
Well, that's... You understand this is propaganda.
Understand, I'd like to hear from
Well,
you.
what from me? I'm up to date on everything. What, how, why, and why all this. I've been since 2014 when all this moment with Crimea, with Donbass, it's all like me, well, in my site in general.
And did you speak out about this?
To whom?
In general, well, I don't know, on social networks, between
Well,
friends.
there were disputes initially, but then I realized that it was all
What
pointless.
do you think about Crimea?
Well, we occupied and annex by time.
By time. I understand that you're rather on the side of Ukraine in this whole story. Do I understand correctly?
Yes.
I understand correctly. How did you get here?
Like everyone.
Tell me.
Tell you. Well, in general, they put the finishing touches on me at home. I can speak Ukrainian, it doesn't matter. The guys just won't understand.
Speak as you please. Well, Give me a few phrases in Ukrainian. Tell us so that we can make sure that you can speak
They've
Ukrainian.
been hunting me for a long time.
Who? Military office?
The military office and ultimately the mayor's office and the Minister of Internal Affairs.
Okay, enough of the word hunted. I understand what you're saying, but then something went wrong. Talk about how, so that everyone understands.
So, how? They started because they say my reputation is tarnished.
For what?
Robbery.
Yeah, there was an article.
What?
Article, what there a term?
Yes, and in Ukraine as well.
Oh, and in Ukraine.
In Ukraine, yes.
At least learn to speak. I am not telling Katerina, but you're like there.
Well, yes.
You're kind of us. Well, that's what we
Well,
need
how?
to say correctly. That is,
Yes,
you
yes.
did something
I
weird
came
here
to visit
too.
for the first time in 2000 and I got in jail. In short, I was here 3
We'll
times.
see. Where did you serve?
First time in the Lviv region
Uh-huh.
and twice in Lugansk.
Uh-huh. Did you serve time in Russia?
Said.
Where are the conditions better? Or the same?
In Ukraine. It's better here. Well, at least it was at that time.
It's clear. So you should have stayed here already. Doesn't
And
matter
by the
where
way,
to serve time.
my aunt from Moline said, don't come. I have not yet managed to be released from prison. They already went to her house. They asked where I have arrived or not. That is, someone was again waiting for me in absentia. I'm in the
Do the
Lugansk region.
police work?
Naturally, works. Well, you see, I served all this time. Well, that is, they need to solve the case, for instance. I shown up, they're pinning a crime on me. We immediately got some done. I got into jail again. This is why I was released in the Lugansk region and immediately I crossed the border and home. In 2009, I came to visit a girl I knew. Well, I stayed with her for 2 weeks. And then 2014 began, and that's it. No more. Mom went there.
Uh-huh.
And as a man, I was sort of denied entry.
It's clear,
Well,
it's clear.
that's why I wasn't there anymore.
And they started coming to you, recruit you.
All the FSB officers came to see me. They asked who I had, did I have any relatives, what kind of relationship do I have, whether I communicate or not, such things. I ignored it immediately. I said I don't communicate with them. I understood why all these questions were asked. Are you planning to go there? How will I get there if the border is closed? First of all, the Russian side will not let me out here, and the Ukrainian one will not accept it anymore. How can I go there? Such leading questions. Then, from the 1st of August, Putin, as I heard, has doubled payments from 200,000 to 400.
Already triplet.
Yes, and in general it began. First, representatives of the major office arrived. Andrei Nikolaevich, maybe you won't. I also had a suspended sentence check in at the pretrial detention center every month. They got me there. They ask me about this all the time. I say, I'm a Ukrainian, I have a relative. How can I? I have a brother.
Well, your citizenship
Well,
is
Russian,
Russian.
yes. I say my brother lives here. He was in the ATO. How will I go? No. Well, no and no.
And a brother in the armed forces.
Not now. Now he have 3 children.
Understood. Where he is in NATO?
14th, 15th year. The one took place, in my opinion, near Saburmogila. In general, this is more of a formality. They suggested my case to be dropped, and that's all. After the 1st of August, representatives of the major's office began to arrive. They came from the military registration and enlistment office, and they came who the district police officer arrived, and they started in the criminal direction. She openly tells me right on my doorstep, we are now opening a criminal case against you. You already have a condition. We have a special client. Have you been to him? I say that I was. Now we are with him. We will process him, and now your 7-8 years have. So choose, be there for a year or 7 or 8, be in Penza again. I consulted with my mother has cancer. I consulted with her, she is in tears and says, how so? I say, Mom, you know what 7-8 years, we won't talk to you like this anymore.
Okay, got it. What plans did you have? Well, let's say you succumbed to all this. What were your plans? How were you planning? Fight there?
But what kind of war? Came to the front.
What are your plans now in this case?
Well, the fact that I did not agree to the exchange, I immediately
Don't
signed
agree.
the paper. No, I
Did
signed the
you
papers.
ever show up for I
Well,
want to
I
leave?
wanted to, but I didn't have time. Here's Dima Karpenko. Is there a
Yes,
partner
yes.
of yours? As if I subscribed to both and you and him. And Denis Nikitin. I monitored this entire situation. I just didn't
Denis
have time.
Ardekatov.
Yes. Nikitin.
Did you write to them?
No, I didn't have time. I thought I'll come now. Well, they took all our SIM cards. Even at one time they took
This
the
is
phone.
necessary. If you see that you're subscribed to us, you should have known that it's better to write in advance while you have a connection.
Then this fuss are moving from training ground to training ground. It's all just nothing.
In short, where did they take you?
Originally the bus
Well, the final point, where did they take you?
to the part.
All ready for the war?
To the ward in
To
Avdiivka.
Avdiivka.
Yes, they transferred us to Avdiivka and they took us halfway towards Ocheretin. We took turns going. I have the 2nd Separate Assault Company, the 5th Platoon. I am a general orderly. 4 assault platoons of my company went ahead, and our 5th platoon, as an evacuation medic, was the last to go. And we arrived, the columns went to Ocheretin. Well, one by one. There we spent the night in the basement of the 3-story building, relieved the water there, eat something and moved on. Well, we walked like a week to the front line and we arrived at the front line on August 31st. Now, 4 days later, on September 4th, I was already in captivity. The assault platoons entered this one Gordovka. 4 days later, our platoon commander came running, and our task was to simply stand and wait for the wounded from there. The platoon commander came running. In short, he said from 4 companies, 8 remained
yes.
on their feet.
Lots
8
of
people.
losses, right?
Yes. Lots of losses, yes. Over the past 24 hours, 4 more wounded people have died.
So with this being said for meat or
Yes.
what? Meat assault?
Yes, we all, the orderlies and those who come out, who brings water to them, food to the city, there they themselves in short pick up and drag in. Because there was such a shooting there, they immediately fired at us. It was possible for us to deliver it closer to them, drink there, eat there, if possible pull out the wounded, but this was impossible. We sat and stupidly waited for the wounded to appear. The platoon commander came running just like that. In short, they wanted to sign us all up for the assault the next day.
Well, like, did you use up all the material? Leaving?
Yes.
I mean, leaving force.
Yes, those who
and
are
it
on
has
their
already
feet
reached you.
forward in short, and I even went without a machine gun. I pulled out the plates from the body armor. It's more convenient. That's it. He ran, started shooting at his feet and near his head. We're all in denial. Well, in my platoon there are 50 plus men. That is, who is suitable for assault.
Depends who's doing what.
Well, everyone will go for meat. That's all. That's it. I didn't think long. Next landing, Ukrainian armed forces. That's all.
They understood, yes. Why are you coming to them? Well, the armed forces
At
of
night.
Ukraine. Got it? Yeah. At night
No,
it could
they were
have
shooting at
happened
me.
by accident. What about you?
What? I lay down and crawled. Next to me there is pew pew pew.
How about shouting?
Yes, I shouted, no point.
When did they already realize that you were giving up? There were 20 meters left before them,
No,
10
I
meters.
climbed into the landing. In short, I think who the hell knows what kind of moment there is. I think who is there anyway, because I hear some kind of incomprehensive speech.
And
That's
the
all.
speech is incomprehensible. What
I
are
don't
those
know.
poles there?
Maybe out of fear, I didn't understand who was talking or in what language. Maybe I don't know. I had some hallucinations.
And then when you were captured, did you finally understand
Yes,
who
I
it
saw in
was?
short a Ukrainian uniform.
Yes.
They're from the dugout. I look at the helmets. I only saw helmets. That's all. I don't think for long. Now they will come and shoot me here.
So,
That's it. I explained the situation. They tied me up and wrapped me. They put me in the
I'm
trench.
interested in your eye-to-eye meeting. How did this happen?
And now I remember. I don't remember myself because everything is somehow blurry.
I see, yes. The adrenaline rush and so
Yes.
on. Not everything is remembered.
That's all. They put guns at me. There were probably 6 people there in position here. He took a machine gun, as I noticed.
Are these Germans?
No, not the Germans, of course. And so it told the whole story. They were surprised. They gave me something to drink and smoke.
Who was it? What kind of guys?
151st Brigade.
151st handsome guys. Respect to you. So, Islam, come on. Just please. You speak so quietly. I understand everything but a little louder. How and what happened to you? Are you mobilized?
No, volunteer contractor.
Volunteer? Why did you decide to go to war? What inspired you to do this?
Money.
What?
Money.
Not surprised.
What?
I'm not surprised, I say. Wife, any
Wife.
children? No children?
No.
Do you understand that she might not see you again, your
She
wife?
could, yes.
What can you say now about your action, about the fact that you decided to go and sign the contract?
Nothing good.
Would you go again if you knew?
No.
No?
No.
What did you think here? The grilled shish kebab, right?
Not really. Otherwise, everything is described differently from the
What?
start. Everything is
Yes.
described differently
What are
from
they
the start.
describing? Here is a man, he says he was subscribed. Does our video tell you everything normally? Is it clear? Is it clear? Now we are discussing what is hard for you to take one such video to watch, or how about one 10 to watch?
I didn't really watch anything on the internet or on television.
Because the way they describe it to you is how you accept it.
When I was mobilized, I was told that in 3 months after we left, from November 1st, November, December, January, from February we should have changed in 2023. From 2022. Regularly speaking, 2 years in 2 months. During all this time I was an official
okay.
leave
What
once.
did they tell you?
They didn't say anything. Everything is fine. I don't know what to tell.
Tell me how you fought, where you were taken.
So, we went to the village of Maximilianovka to establish a base.
Wait. When did you sign the contract?
In
What
the
year?
2022.
In 2022. You fought almost 2.5 years, right?
I was instructor.
An instructor. An instructor. The Ukrainian Security Service and the National Police should work with instructors like you, because when I look at you, I don't believe a single word. I don't even see the point in coming this conversation, because you're obviously hiding and want to hide everything connected with this, simply because fighting for 2.5 years. Where? Well, tell me, what points were you at?
In Mariupol?
Mariupol.
Yes.
Did you take part in the assault on Mariupol?
No, the first day I was already wounded.
What hurt you?
Shot in the leg.
Shot in the leg. From what?
With automatic. With an AK-74.
With an AK-74. How many people did you shoot at? How many people have you killed and wounded?
No one. Yes, I'm being honest.
You
This
see.
is what the first attack.
Was it on the detector? Were
What?
you on the detector? Were you on a lie detector test? Lie detector.
No.
I'll write to the polygraph examiner now.
Please?
There is a very interesting candidate.
Yes, I can hear well simply because of this.
Fine. Wounded in Mariupol. What next?
Next to the hospital, what is it? The contract should have ended. I signed for 3 months. It turned out that not for 3 but for 6 months. I couldn't terminate the contract. I had to continue to serve.
Where next?
And then they dropped us off at Popasne. On the 3rd day I was wounded.
Where?
In the shoulder. From a machine gun, 3 bullets. Then rehabilitation, year. Half a year rehabilitation. The remaining 6 months are an instructor in general military training at the Kadamovsky training ground.
The story is smooth. Understood. So,
Further after the Kadamovsky training ground, now what was the direction? Mariinka.
Marinka.
We came in, the task was also gain a foothold. We went into one house, in a 2-story house. The task was to go there and gain a foothold. 3 groups came there. And the tank started hitting us, and I have a shell shock. I started shooting at my own people. I was stunned.
Have you started shooting at your own people?
Yes.
Killed someone?
No, no one at all.
How did you understand that you shot at
They
your own
told me
people?
later. The contusion is normal, then back to the hospital.
Your own?
Yes. Then the hospital again, rehabilitation, shots in the head. They also said I have a brain tumor there, all that bullshit. I came again. Then I was an instructor in Shakhtersk. By then our battalion was already fully equipped and everyone was sent to Bakhmut on defense. Then Ukrainian defense forces should have been on Bakhmut. And we sat on the defensive. Didn't have time to come in. I blowed myself up while tripping.
Have you almost passed all the other spots?
I visited one day at a time.
On a trip where?
Yes.
What injuries? You seem to be fine, only a finger was torn
A
off.
finger and some fragment somewhere.
Well, and you didn't have such an opinion about everything that you have already won, that it's time for you to write it off.
No one is being written off. They don't even write people off without hands. Everyone is sent to the reserve battalion. Yeah, that's right.